I think we ain't done yet. I promise we ain't done yet.
The connected team is a dangerous team. We are dangerous. Let's party all day.
You know, we've had a good group around here this offseason, so it doesn't feel too starkly different from that. I mean, last week here, ton of energy, and yeah, just great to have everyone back.
Good club coming into it, so you know, I'm excited to see what we can accomplish. But yeah, the first day of anything is excited. So you know, we want to make sure last year wasn't a fluke, what happened during the season, but we want to finish what we started now.
You know, I think everybody thought the next step was to win the World Series, but I'm very proud of what we did last year. But we didn't get into the big dance, and it's just a really good group, and we feel like it's our time to bond and take this to the next level and be able to tell a really good story.
We're on the right path.
Hey, who's ready to jump in the pool again? Baseball is back. You can feel it, smell it in the air every year around this time. Chase Field, look at that. Drop the top. It's ready to rock. What's the excitement level like for this season? You be the judge. D-backs holding their Fan Fest recently out there at the ballpark. Look at it, buzzing. Opening for the first time this year. Players on hand for autographs and pictures. Opening day right around the corner, March 27th against the Cubs. Up north, on the north side of town, spring training in full swing. Lots of fans skipping school and people skipping work to come get a look at their first look at this year's squad. D-backs have another World Series roster locked and loaded. D-backs, of course, coming off back-to-back heartbreaks, losing in the World Series, then missing the playoffs while watching other teams decide their fate. What is up, Arizona? You are watching D-backs on Deck. I'm Cameron Cox. We're going to check in with the 12 Sports team in just a moment. This is your all-access pass to spring training. We're going to catch you up on everything D-backs, all the big names, the players, the storylines. Plus, we're going to take you behind the scenes, stuff you don't get to see, right? But first, let's hear from the bosses.
Done a good job keeping this core together and then taking care of those guys. Why has that been important to you in recent years?
Yeah, I think it's important from a couple things. I think from a team standpoint and the way we build a roster is important to have continuity. I also think for the city and the fans to have people that they're consistently rooting for. I know, when we first got here, we had players that were like that, and we had to make some changes, which was unfortunate. Now I don't want to make that mistake again in some ways, and want to have people that are going to be here, players to be here that the fans can really get behind, because I do think that's important too.
How proud of you of the roster that you guys have constructed this year? On paper, seems like another roster that can contend and get back to the World Series.
Yeah, paper is paper. I don't. Proud's probably the wrong word. We put a lot of work into it. We have more work to do. There's going to be areas of the roster we're going to have to fill and fix as we go through. We're going to need our young players to step up. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we have a talented team, and I think we'll start any season in that position for sure.
Torey, you've been here 9 years.
Yeah.
What's changed about you?
Shoot, that's a good question. I think that the wins and losses come and go, and they're so hard. They're hard on me, but I think what gives me peace at the end of the day is that I'm here to watch young men perform, help young men grow up and do the right thing. I love Arizona. It's my home now. I'm an Arizonan, and I'm proud to say that. A lot more gray hairs and less hair. I didn't have the beard, right? But at the end of the day, I'm so proud to be here and represent the state every single day, to the best of my ability.
A connected team is a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Do you feel that with this year's squad early on?
Very much so, even more so than I have over the past several years. This team is extremely connected. I think there's one heartbeat, there's one ego, and one identity.
On paper, it looks like a squad that can get back to the World Series and possibly get you guys over that hump. Do you think about that, or what do you make of this squad so far?
Of course, I dream about it every day. That's what gets me up and motivates me every single day. But I like to simplify it. What I told the guy is, let's just have a day one mentality. Let's worry about today. Today's over. Let's worry about tomorrow. Don't look beyond that. It's easy to get sidetracked and say, I want to and we can. But if you get on that journey, you start to look too far down the road, you get distracted. So I just tell them, simplify it. Take care of what you can today and then worry about tomorrow.
There were different levels of disappointment in the way the last two seasons ended for the Diamondbacks, but one thing is clear. This ball club is using the pain of the past as fuel for the future.
I remember sitting in the dugout and having to listen to the world champion Texas Rangers get announced. So I think about that one a lot from 2 years ago. That rattled me. I didn't love watching the Mets and the Braves shake hands on the same field celebrating together. They went to the big dance and we didn't, but I have some very vivid pictures in mind that I think about often.
They're moving beyond what happened last fall, but it is motivation to make sure they're not in that position again.
Especially that last day, I still remember it. We were all sitting in the locker room and couldn't really do anything about it. It was out of our hands, but that just goes to show that every game counts, especially some of those games early on in the season that we shouldn't have lost, but you got to think of the games that we came back and won as well.
I'm sure people are aware of last year and don't want to be a part of it, but when I say, like, I don't think anybody's thinking about it in a good way. No matter what, at the end of the year, when we went to the World Series, you got to wipe that and move on to the next one. We get knocked out the way we did last year, same thing, you got to wipe it and move on to the next one.
I like that. Moving on, let's get to some action, right? How cool is this? Game 1, inning 1 for the new D-backs $210 million ace, Corbin Burnes, opening up spring training, just dominated in his debut. Striking out the side on 16 pitches. He's, of course, building chemistry with Gold Glove catcher Gabby Moreno. He's pleased with start number 1.
Yeah, I mean, the first couple is more about just getting out there, feeling that adrenaline again, getting to the routines, getting up and down a couple times. And once you kind of get out to 3 innings is when you can start to kind of mix different pitches, work different sequences in. So, like I said, everything's pretty close. I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule as far as how things are feeling.
Man, he looks great out there. As we know, the D-backs should have one of the best rotations in all of baseball. This was the last image of ace Zac Gallen on the baseball field this past fall. Gallen watching as the team gets knocked out of the playoffs. Remember on that extra bonus day of baseball? Some D-back fans wondered if that was it, if that was the lasting image. Maybe they'd trade him in the offseason. Not a chance, folks. Not a chance whatsoever. Gallen is back. He knows he likely won't be the opening day starter because, in the great words of Ted Lasso, the D-backs have 2 aces tucked up their sleeves.
Zac, you've been around here a long time. It's hard to believe. What's it like to see this team kind of rise to what it is now? Everybody expects you guys to contend for a title now.
Yeah, it's cool. I was in the office the other day with Torey and some of the front office, and it's my 7th year here, which seems really crazy. It feels
getting
like
old.
I was in a group today, and I got mentioned as an old head from one of the rookies, and I'm like, damn, I'm only 29. I'm an old head now.
Sorry. I'm
nah,
sorry.
It's all good.
Well, congratulations for graduating.
I appreciate. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, so I've seen some dark times here, and then just to kind of see us come out the other side and continue to improve on a win total. Continue to improve on the culture, all those things that you look for that really well-run organizations tend to all have in common. I think we're starting to trend on the up.
Another year, it seems like you guys have kind of reloaded this roster for another World Series run. When you look at this team, what do you think?
Obviously, we lost some pieces in Walk and Jock and Seawald, so tough guys to replace, but we had guys like Josh Naylor and Corbin Burnes. We brought Grichuk back and having our starting guys healthy. We know last year we didn't do what we set out to accomplish, so it was a failure. So we're gonna try and re-up on that.
What was your reaction when they signed a guy like Corbin?
I was pumped. I've known Corbin now for a couple of years. We try to just chop it up during BP whenever we'd see him. I'd see him in Milwaukee or see him in Baltimore. I didn't think it would come to fruition, and then it did, and I was ecstatic. So I sent him a message like the next day, just welcoming him, saying we're happy to have him. So yeah, he's gonna be good for us.
What kind of combo can you two be? I mean, when this team won the World Series, they had Randy and Kurt at the top. I mean, do you kind of see the same thing with you two at the top of the rotation?
I mean, that's rare air. So I try not to think about it like that, but hopefully we can live up to a fraction of that. We still got some guys that are some dogs behind us too. So yeah, we're excited. We got some depth in the starting rotation. Which we saw last year got tested with injuries and things like that. So it's never a bad thing to have too much pitching. Everyone wants to see offense. Good pitching usually beats good hitting.
Starting pitching the issue last season. D-backs scored the most runs in baseball, but gave up the 3rd most earned runs, and the pitching staff had the 4th highest ERA.
With the injuries, we didn't perform up to the standard that we expect. The offense did a really good job last year. They carried us in some games where we might have let them down or whatever, but yeah, it's gonna fall on us this year. I'm excited to see Monty getting back to form and Ryan Nelson having a full year and Fott continuing to grow and do what he's got to do, and then see what Mert's got for us fully healthy, and get a chance to see Erod fully healthy too. So the teams that usually have good pitching usually tend to make a good run and make a dent and making a playoff run, hopefully the World Series.
When the D-backs made it to the World Series in 2023, Gallen was a Cy Young finalist. Career highs in innings, strikeouts, and starts. Entering the final year of his contract, Gallen is focused on winning, being a D-back for life.
Yeah, I mean, I love it here. I've always said that. I try not to get into the financials of all those things and whatnot. I just try to control what I can control. I think I go out and have a good year, go out and stay healthy, have the opportunity. But the fans have been great. Playing for Torey and the front office and the guys I've built really good relationships with here it's awesome.
Can you show me your favorite pitch grip and tell me why?
My favorite pitch grip. I probably go with the curveball. Just that's my go-to pitch. Just a little spike curve here. This is the pitch that usually gets me out of trouble, but it's like a love-hate relationship right now because it's one of those things I feel like I could roll out of bed and throw it, but if it's not perfect, I'm like, beat myself up about it.
The average human would look at that and be like, doesn't that hurt your nail?
Yeah, so I have softer nails, so I got to keep a good job of keeping it trimmed and keeping it filed down so the nail doesn't break, but it's a little bit upkeep.
Is that the pitch you got Ohtani with at the All-Star game?
Very, very scary. So. Heck of a pitch, right?
It was, yeah. That's shout out to Sean Murphy on that one. It's 3-2. I was going to throw a fastball. I'm like, it's the All-Star game. Let's see what happens. He called the curveball, and looking back now, I'm like, Ohtani was ready for the heater, so I'm glad he called the curveball.
Is it cool now that you and Torey can have those conversations when you don't want to come out of a game and he trusts you and you guys can have that back and forth?
Yeah, for sure. I think Torey and I have built a good enough relationship to he can kind of read my body language on certain times when I might be running on fumes and in certain times where he might think I'm running on fumes and I can tell him, hey, I'm good. He's given me a longer leash, and when I first got here, he was like, there's going to come a time where I'm gonna let you, so yeah, we've gotten to that point.
How cool is Zac Gallen? Hey, D-backs have already made the most spring training play ever. In Game 2, bases loaded for Ketel Marte. He flies out to center. It is deep enough for a sac fly, right? But how about deep enough to clear everybody off the bases? Look at that. Rockies throw it around, allowing all the runs to score. A bases-clearing sac fly, the most spring training play ever.
Yeah, do the sand in the season, all right? We need you, man. Thank you.
I knew it was deep. The guy kind of caught it, still kind of falling backward. And yeah, I knew I was tagging up. I saw Lark right away waving, and I was like, let's go. I was like, I don't think I've ever scored from second on a sac fly, and then slid in head first, turned around, and Barros was coming. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen three guys scoring a sac fly to center, but that was really fun.
Really fun. Never seen something like that. How cool is that? But that, like I said, it's the most spring training play ever. Because only in spring training you see something like that. Hey, as we all know, the D-backs got 7 starters fighting for 5 spots, including Jordan Montgomery. Remember, he signed at the end of spring training last year for a whole bunch of money. His season was so bad last year, owner Ken Kendrick called signing him a horrible decision in October. Rough, right? Monty, though, still with the team, still working out and getting healthy, and talking to our Jake Garcia.
Jordan Montgomery is under a microscope as he starts his second season with the Diamondbacks. Today, the high-priced pitcher spoke for the first time since the offseason comments from the owner. Montgomery said he's already faced the facts, and any talk about a down year is old news to him.
I'm the youngest of 3 boys, so I'm not really going to hurt my feelings. Got home, got to work, enjoyed my time, and made sure I showed up ready.
Jordan Montgomery heads into spring training with thick skin and a short memory.
Last year was really kind of the first time I've struggled in a long time. So baseball is a hard game, and it's bound to get you, and just kind of had to deal with it and battle.
But all that battling has led to an early season wound. Montgomery sprained his left index finger in his last bullpen. For now, he's cleared to do everything but pitch.
He told me it's just a speed bump, man. I'm getting out there for you, and I'm going to go out and compete.
Manager Torey Lovullo downplayed the injury, instead focusing on improvements in other areas.
He just looks healthy of mind, body, and spirit.
Jordan said he dropped 20 pounds.
Wasn't really moving fast. I wasn't really moving clean or synced up.
The lost weight didn't lead to lost confidence. Montgomery fully expects to have a spot in the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for. They're paying me a lot of money.
Montgomery is taking the optimistic approach, but the D-backs do have other options if he struggles again. They have 6 other viable starters, and Lovullo said that no roles are set in stone. Montgomery already off to a slow start as he deals with the finger injury. At Salt River Fields, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports. Jordan Montgomery gets all the attention, but Eduardo Rodriguez didn't make the best first impression either in his first season with the Diamondbacks. He made only 10 starts because he was hurt, had an ERA over 5 when he was finally healthy. Rodriguez said he's dealt with injury-plagued seasons before and plans on bouncing back.
really wasn't a really contribution to the team on that part, So for me, just turn the page and get ready for this season.
Eduardo Rodriguez starts his season in the place he spent most of his last. It was 5 months of rehab Rodriguez on the side fields at Salt River. After signing a 4-year deal with the D-backs, he didn't debut until August.
It bothers everybody when you're hurt, It bothers me, it bothers the team, it bothers my teammates, it bothers everybody. So for me, even if I'm on the contract or no, I just want to be out there every year.
Rodriguez has hardly been a model of health throughout his big league career. There were back, finger, rib, head, elbow, ankle, knee, and heart problems. This was the first shoulder injury, aside from the situation in the early 2000s.
When I was a little kid, I was 7 years old, I had an accident on my right shoulder, and I had a long time wearing a cast.
Rodriguez is naturally right-handed. The incident is how it all changed.
Playing catch with my brothers, and we play every sport, and I'm throwing with the left, and I stay with the left.
Rodriguez joked and said there's no plans to go back to his right, but he did make an off-season adjustment to get past the pain in his left.
More workout, running, throwing a little bit less, and waiting to get to spring training to throw a little bit more.
Rodriguez seemingly has a longer leash than Montgomery, so the D-backs are banking on him returning to form. They like what he brings from the left side. For Rodriguez, he's spending the spring making sure he's on the right side of that shoulder strain a year ago. At Salt River Fields, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports.
Thanks a lot, Jake. Hey, how about their most important piece to the puzzle? Corbin Carroll, the star right fielder, of course, burst onto the scene as a rookie in 2023. But for much of last year, he was stuck in a sophomore slump. He kind of turned it on the second half of the year, as we all saw. But he'll tell you those final numbers fell well short of his standard, right? He spent the offseason training with a tireless schedule. This dude was always at the facility, even changed up his swing a little bit. He was even at the facility on Christmas Eve working on that swing.
I don't want to, brag about all the work that I did, but I feel like the body of work that I put in was I'm really happy with, and it doesn't necessarily feel like there's a big adjustment or change that needs to be made. It was more just like, hey, I get to nitpick a little bit and try and also learn a little bit about what helped me have the success that I'd had in those last couple months.
There we go. The swing looks great, by the way. Hey, a lot of hugs and smiles out at spring training. We all know a connected team is a dangerous team and an excited team for one of their teammates to get paid. Geraldo Perdomo in a great mood these days. Just signed that 4-year, $45 million extension. Perdomo is a homegrown story. D-backs signed him out of the Dominican Republic, brought him up through their farm system. The 25-year-old is an all-star, a leader, and a clubhouse favorite.
Gino.
Hey, Mike. Good morning. How you doing? Got a question for you.
Yes.
What does that mean to you have a Perdomo for a long time now? What does that mean to you, to the organization?
Are you auditioning for a future career?
It's a lot for me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So yesterday, nobody knew about what was happening, but Gino kept coming over to the field, and he happened to be standing in front of me. He's like, "Where's Perdomo? Where's Perdomo?" And I felt like he was going to keep doing that. So I called him over and I was like, "Listen, can I trust you with a secret?" And he said, yeah, what? And I said, "Perdomo's in an MRI too right now." He's like, "Oh no, what happened?" And I was like, "Nothing's bad. We signed him to an extension." So he promised me to keep a secret. But then I told other people I told you that, and they said, "That is the worst person you could have tried to trust a secret." I was like, "Really?" They're like, "Don't."
Nobody knows.
You said it this morning. You kept it. We appreciate that.
Mike.
It is very important for us to keep Perdomo here. He's part of the foundation of what we're trying to build, and we know how much you guys respect him as a teammate, and that's important to us too.
All right, so the D-backs lock up their starting shortstop till 2030. Perdomo is considered one of the best young shortstops in the entire game. I think he's deserved that title. It's been so much fun to watch him play for the D-backs. He's like the quarterback out there. Torey Lovullo remembers a moment from his rookie year when Perdomo, when everything kind of clicked, and he would finally give this guy the credit in the infield.
He understood why today that I was so tough on him. And I had a lot of really difficult conversations with him where he would push back. The first one that I remember was there was an episode in Colorado. He was trying to protect one of his teammates. I basically started to yell at him in the dugout and said, quit trying to protect one of your teammates. I saw what happened. Why don't you speak on behalf of this infield because you're the leader of this infield? Do you understand what I'm asking you?
So you yelled at him?
Yeah, I got him right on the point. Sometimes, you can't waste time and you got to see it and you got to jump on it. From that day forward, I think our relationship was a little bit different, honestly, which led him to where he is today.
We didn't give it to him. He earned it, and good for him. He's worked his butt off to get in a position to be able to get something like that. It's part of the reason why we did it is because I think he's part of the heartbeat of the team.
As a kid, that's a dream come true, I always would like to be a part of the only one organization, and I think that Mike and all those guys give me the opportunity to stay longer here.
He's going to do great for them. All right, the D-backs, they got a great problem. There is too much talent on this roster, meaning some tough decisions are coming. Like what to do with top prospect Jordan Lawler, the 22-year-old is trying to make the team. Remember, he was on that World Series roster back in 2023, but last season, limited to just 23 games because of injury. Lawler is mainly a shortstop, but that job belongs to that guy. Just got paid, right? Big raise. So look for Lawler to play other positions like third base, second base, whatever it takes to help the team win.
I'm working on myself, trying to get better every single day. I have a vision for myself, and that vision is greatness. So I'm going to do day in and day out everything I can do to get better and improve in all facets of the game. Anywhere I can play to help the team win is where I want to be.
Jordan is on a great trajectory. He's a very mature young man. He has grasped and continue to grasp our concepts, what's important here, and now it's just a matter of consistency.
Yeah, he's going to do really good out there on the hot corner. All right, one of the new faces, first baseman Josh Naylor. I like this guy. 27 years old, the replacement for Christian Walker. Got plenty of pop and glove and hustle. Look at that. Already in spring training, diving out for whatever. Didn't catch it, but he's there to make the play. D-backs, of course, trading for the All-Star in the offseason. He has fit right in. And his leadership is his baseball language. But get ready. It is louder than you think. Also, watch out for flying objects. More on him in just a moment. But, of course, over the years, the D-backs have had a lot of fun personalities, like Randy Johnson. Not so much fun during his career. He's become a big teddy bear after he retired. But that stare, man, boy, did that strike fear into everybody's heart. Luis Gonzalez, always a fan favorite, right? You had Fernando Rodney, one of my favorite D-backs. You always love the arrow point and the crooked cap. How about David Peralta? How much fun was watching the freight trade all these years? Then you had Bring in the Beard, Mr. Archie Bradley, who we still see around the valley from time to time. On today's team, you got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. You think we could all rock the purple hair from time to time? By the way, they need to bring out and bring back the victory vest from the year they went to the World Series. But they have never had someone on the team who can hit for power, play defense, throw a bat, headbutt you, and lead by example. Jake Garcia introduces you to Naylor's leadership language.
When Josh Naylor was introduced to D-backs fans at the start of spring training, he came off as soft-spoken, introverted, and introspective. But there's a different side of Naylor that shows up when he takes the field. A wild side that's enraged opponents and endeared himself to teammates.
Catch that one. Deep center field.
He makes loud contact with the baseball and even louder contact with anything that comes in his way as he rounds the bases.
Catch that. He spiked the bat halfway to first base.
He hits with attitude, man.
It's part of the Josh Naylor enigma.
I can be loud and spontaneous and energetic, but then there's times where I can be quiet and to myself and kind of in my own little realm.
A different realm when he delivers in a big moment. With Naylor, nothing is safe. Not the ground, not the dugout, not even his own manager.
There may not be a more emotional player in the game of baseball today.
Naylor said it's his leadership language.
Kind of try to bring that to the table. Just try to be as energetic as I can for the guys.
His way of rallying teammates.
Someone gets so energetic, they do something special, and then we all get to celebrate them. So that's like my end goal.
Not only fired up, but I think it brings some lightness to it. Because you see it, you're like, man, this guy's having fun.
Pitcher Kyle Nelson played with Naylor in Cleveland for 2 years. He said the bat flips are caused by a flip of the switch.
Sometimes come out of nowhere, you're like, whoa, this guy's just quiet, chilling, and boom.
Eduardo Rodriguez knows Naylor as a nuisance.
I was in that division for 2 years, right? So I faced him a lot. I know that he hit, I think, 1 or 2 homers of me.
A relief now that they're under the same roof.
He's an exciting guy. I love it. I see him doing that from the other side of the dugout. I see it on the video, so I can't wait to see him do all that with us and be part of it.
For Naylor, the energy is innate. Actions that speak louder than words.
He's a human tornado.
I just try to play with passion because you never know when it's your last day on the field.
Now, Naylor doesn't waste all his energy on home run celebrations. He only breaks it out when the moment calls for it. Game winners, walk-offs, key moments in the playoffs. His teammates hope they see plenty more of that this season. At Salt River Fields, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports.
Thanks a lot, Jake. Man, that headbutt kind of gets me every time, right? All right, the first day with the entire team gathered out at Salt River Fields. It starts with a clubhouse gathering to listen to a message from the front office. Owner Ken Kendrick and CEO Derek Hall kind of made it their annual tradition out there. They wished the team luck, and they set expectations. They also talked to us about a laundry list of topics, including television strategy, lease extension, and a piece of legislation recently introduced that would help the D-backs make upgrades to Chase Field. It's a public-private partnership. It would divert direct sales tax money generated at the ballpark to renovations.
It's like night and day. I mean, really, we feel the partnership there. We feel the willingness. I think everybody understands the importance of having the Diamondbacks downtown, the economic driver that we have become and that we will continue to be, the employer that we are, the impact that we have as an organization on the community. So it truly feels like a partnership. So where we were a year ago, we're in a completely different place, and it's much more positive, and it feels right.
Much more positive than it's been in recent years. It's really cool to hear Derek Hall say that the D-backs belong downtown. They belong at Chase Field. And, man, for what they're envisioning and when they can renovate that thing and make it look all high-tech and new, add some suites on the field and different things for fans, that ballpark is really going to sing. Hey, thank you so much for watching D-backs on Deck. I'm Cameron Cox. We appreciate you following along all spring training. But wait, one more thing out the door. Check out who is hanging out at spring training. That is ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham and AD Graham Rossini talking with D-backs manager Torey Lovullo. How cool would it be to just kind of sit on that couch and listen to these guys go? We all know Torey is the longest tenured head coach of the major sports team here in the Valley, and he takes a lot of pride in carrying that torch. He is also a massive Valley sports fan. Here is Torey talking Kenny out the door.
He left this building today. We got better with his message. The message, I don't want to share it with you, but it was pretty clear that there's certain things that are important to him. And what I saw is there's a lot of common denominators between what he's doing there and what we're doing here. So that just reinforces some of the beliefs that you have that you're doing things right.